Hi, my name is Daniel Burrus, author of Flash Foresight, and I have a really great treat for you. I want you to meet my friend, Dr. Ken Druck, and more importantly, become acquainted with his new book, The Real Rules of Life. By the way, that's a book you're going to want to read. I first met Ken back in the 80s when I was doing a six-city speaking tour in Australia, and I was speaking at the Sydney Opera House. In this case, he was in the audience, and when I finished, he came up, introduced himself, and it became a wonderful decades-long friendship. And Ken has devoted his life to helping others shape their future. He's been working as a family counselor. He has been working as a CEO, a counselor to CEOs of major corporations, as well as giving speeches and doing consulting. And the relationship that we have then is we both are very concerned as well as excited about shaping a better tomorrow for ourselves and our organizations. Well, you know, we've all got a plan, a strategic plan, a personal plan. Let's call it Plan A. And it's the plan that we know will have a wonderful future for ourselves. But some things happen. Sometimes life has its own plans for us, and we end up with a Plan B. Plan A is now gone. Ken has written a fantastic book that goes through steps to help you see how to make that unexpected Plan B even better than Plan A. Ken, talk to us about that.
You know, Dan, my Plan A was my dream come true. My family, my business, everything. The stage had been set for the most wonderful life. And as you know, and thank God you were there with me to help me through the dark days, my oldest daughter, Jenna, was killed at age 21. Everything changed. Everything turned inside out. My Plan A was obliterated. My daughter's life was lost to her, and she was lost to me. And everything that meant something changed on a dime in that moment. And suddenly I was standing in the ashes of the beginning of what I didn't know was Plan B. I was going to have to figure out how to pick myself up from this brokenness, a broken heart, a shattered life, and to start again and to somehow give my life meaning and purpose and vitality, and to make use of the rest of my days. What I've learned in the last 16 years since that happened is the distilled essence that I'm sharing with people in the real rules of life, because we have to learn how to balance life's terms with our own. We have to continue to dream, fiercely determined to make those dreams come true, but we also have to possess the humility and the flexibility and the understanding to know that in different ways, whether it's a tragedy, whether it's a setback, a challenge, a health crisis, or just some kind of alarm that goes off in our head that says, it's time. It's time for me to make a change, to go for my dream. It's time for me to change the way I've been living. Whatever it is, that we define who we are and we define our future by how we put Plan B together. That's what I had to do in my own life, and I felt like if I could share something with the world, it would be what I have done and what I've learned from so many other people, the families after 9/11, people after tragedies, but people after glorious miracles and successes as well. What have we done to create a better future for ourselves? And that's what this book is about.
You know, you don't need a tragedy to experience a major change. It can be something that happens to a son or a daughter that has nothing to do with the tragedy that you experienced. Or it can be mom and dad. It can be a physical injury or a disease, or it can be a foreclosed home, or it can be a business that is acquired, a hostile takeover. There are many things that give us the loss of a job. We could go on and on and on with things that all of a sudden come out of the blue and affect us.
Exactly, and sometimes it's even success. It's the crisis of success. You know, my goodness, I never expected to find myself with, 400 employees, and $100 million company. So adversity has many faces. The object is to turn adversity into opportunity and turn it into something of a personal deepening. So we are growing as people our entire lives.
Well, the biggest adversity anyone could ever face, you faced, the loss of a child without question. And I knew you for a long time before that happened, and I've known you all of these 16 years since. And I can say that that Plan B became even better than Plan A in terms of how you helped others, how you've helped yourself, what you've done for your friends, for your family. And what I love about the book is it is not just saying you need to do this, but rather it is a step-by-step, principle-centered way to do it. And you're providing actually what those rules are and how to turn any adversity into something that is far bigger than you've ever experienced before. Excellent job. Just give me a few more minutes on that.
Dan, first of all, we've got to be concrete. We can't just wish the future. We have to create it. So I use the same techniques. I've been coaching CEOs. I'm considered one of the pioneers of executive coaching. I've been coaching CEOs, management teams, boards, and so on, and they need concrete strategies. They need tools. They need specifics about what they can do to get from point A to point B. Every single chapter in this book is devoted to one specific idea. And let me give you a quick example. There are no deals. That's one of the chapters. Life has its own terms. There are no deals. Some of us, and I was the first one to realize it, I thought I had a deal. I thought if I was a good father, a good man, was honest with people, had integrity, that at the very least, I thought I had a deal that my children would be protected. There was no deal. There's no exemption clauses. There's no immunity. We're all human, and by virtue of that, we're all going to go through life. Life will have its say. We need to be able to approach life not only with our beautiful blueprints, but with our humility that says, at times I'm going to have to make an adjustment. I've got to summon the strength, the courage, get my ego out of the way, and create a new vision for my life. And this is where your work has been so brilliant, so influential for me. How to create a new vision, how to take those thinking experimental steps into the future that are going to allow me to create the best possible one.
Well, we all want to create an even better future for ourselves, and we will face different types of challenges and adversities. And again, I love how you've come and not just said you need to do it, but rather provided steps, actionable strategies. This book is a fantastic book. I urge you to get it. Go to Amazon. Just get it right now. I know you'll really love it.
Dan, I want to close on the note of just saying that, life's terms are also that we're going to have blessings and gifts. And I want to acknowledge that one of the great gifts of my life, when all is said and done, is our friendship and your support and the world that you've opened to me with a generous heart and that you opened to Jenna as her godfather. So I want to thank you, and I want to thank you for the opportunity to meet some great people that you've established trust and credibility with, and to share my new work with. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you, Ken. All right, I think we got it.